Hello guys, and welcome back to my Adobe Premiere Pro Masterclass. In this video, I'm going to be showing you all you need to know about the essential tools and shortcuts in Adobe Premiere Pro. To begin, we'll be starting with the selection tool, which is this tool over here. The keyboard shortcut is letter V. Basically, what this tool does is it allows us to select clips. For example, we can select clips. We can select our different sequences if we want to navigate between multiple projects that we are working on. So basically it's used to select. Also, you can use it to highlight clips if you have clips you want to highlight, and also to move clips around on your timeline. And another thing you can use it to do is to hover at the end of your clip, and you can use it to trim a clip at the right and at the bottom portion of that clip. So basically, the selection tool is the major tool that is used in Adobe Premiere Pro. You use it in every section of your Premiere Pro interface. For example, you could change some settings and go back. You could come over here and maybe select some values over here and change some values of your clip and all of that. Next online, we have the track select forward key and the track select backward key. So if I come over here and I hold down, you'll see that we have both the track select forward key and the track select backward key. To show you how this works, I'm going to select my selection tool over here and come over here and hold down Alt and select this clip and drag it one step above to duplicate it. So that's one of the things you can do with the selection tool. You can use it to duplicate clips. So I'm going to drag this and drop it here with my selection tool. Now if I come over here and hold down this tool and select the track select forward tool, the keyboard shortcut is A. Okay, so this clip forward is already selected. I'm going to activate the selection tool by hitting V on my keyboard. And as you can see, my cursor has changed to the selection tool. Now I'm going to deselect this forward clip over here. To activate the track select forward key, I'm just going to hit A on my keyboard, and as you can see, this double arrows over here has appeared. If I want to select this forward clip and all the clips in front, all I need to do is to come somewhere in front of this clip at the back and select it and select my timeline, and as you can see, automatically this forward clip has been selected. In the same way, select V on your keyboard to activate the selection tool, and I'm going to duplicate this clip a couple of times. Duplicate this clip a couple of times. Now let's assume I have this much clips and this is my timeline over here. If I come over here and I hold down and select the track select backward key, the keyboard shortcut is Shift plus A. If I come over here and select this, at this moment you can see that only this top clip is selected. If I come over here and I select anywhere on my timeline, you will notice that the clips that are in front of this arrow are selected. I can now drag over here and move the clips that are behind this arrow. In the same vein, if I hold down A to switch to the track select forward tool and I select at this position on my timeline, you will notice that the tracks in front of these arrows are selected. I can now move all the tracks in front of this arrow to any position that I like. Next to it here, we have 4 other tools here. Now, the first tool here is the Ripple Edit tool. Now, what this does is, first of all, I'm going to select the selection tool. Now, if I come over here and I move this clip, and there's this space here, I want to delete this space. All I need to do is to right-click and select Ripple Delete. And that is how it works. But what if I want to cut out this clip? For example, instead of me to come over here and select the razor tool and select cut and select the selection tool and select this clip and delete it and select this space and right click and hit Ripple Delete, that is a whole lot of process. I can just come over here and hold this down and select the Ripple Edit tool, and I can come here, and when it turns yellow, I can trim this clip and automatically it also Ripple Delete that space by selection of only one tool. And basically that's how to use the Ripple Edit tool. Next over here, if we come down here and select, we have the Rolling Edit tool. This is also used to trim or add to a clip without affecting the timestamp on the timeline. So for example, if I come over here and I decide to trim this to this position, you will notice that I added from this clip and I took out from this clip without affecting the overall timeline over here. It is used to trim clips on the timeline, but it makes up by taking away or adding from the next clip next to it. So basically, you can see that Anytime you are adding to a clip using this tool, you are actually taking away from the next clip. Next on our tool list over here, we have the Rate Stretch tool. This tool is used to trim clips, but it affects the speed of that clip. For example, if I take away all these clips here, and if I come over to the beginning and hit play, you can see the speed of this video over here. It looks slow motion in nature. But if I come over here now and select the Rate Stretch tool, the keyboard shortcut is R, and I come over to this portion and I trim this clip to make it shorter, what I have done basically is I have affected the speed of this clip. So if I come over here and hit play, you'll notice that it's slightly faster. Let me increase the stretch some more. So if I hit play now, you can see how faster it has become. How about if I stretch it to go really longer? Now if I hit play, you can see that it is even now more slower than how it was before. So basically, the Rate Stretch tool trims a clip but affects the speed of that clip. So I'm going to select the selection tool to be able to select any other tool around here. Now if I hold it down, next we have the Remix tool. I'm going to be talking about this intensely in another video, so I'm going to skip that for now. Next we have the Razor tool. Now with the Razor tool, it helps me to make cuts at the center of a clip. Unlike with the other tools that allows me to trim at maybe the start or at the end of a clip, the Razor tool allows us to make cuts at the center of a clip. So imagine if the portion I want to take out is the middle and I want to retain the start and the end rather than trimming the start and the end. What you will need to use is the Razor tool. Next over here, if I hold this down, you will see we have two tools. We have the Slip tool and the Slide tool. Now if I select the Slip tool, this affects the time interval of a clip. Now as you can see over here, you can see the position in which this video is framed. And if I come over here and I select this and I try to move, you can see the time interval changes. So as I'm moving over here, I am actually affecting the time, the framing of this thing with time without affecting the length of either of the clips. So now you can see that his face has changed, his position has changed. This is really different from the frame that was showing here. So basically what this does is, in case if maybe you needed to cut out, let me select the selection tool over here. Let's assuming that you needed to cut out this portion and cut out this portion, and you needed exactly this interval, this probably 15 seconds from here, and you realize that you actually cut out too early. So with this tool, when you select this tool, which is the Slip tool, the keyboard shortcut is Y, and you move further in time, you can actually add that first frames that you cut out without affecting the duration of this clip over here. Next over here, we have the Slide tool, which is the keyboard shortcut is U. To explain the Slide tool, I'm going to select the selection tool once more. I'll come over here and drag these clips together once more. Probably drag these top two clips and place them side by side. Now, if I come over here and select this Slide tool, what this does is that it allows me to move a clip. For example, if I want to move this middle clip from here, I can come over here and slide it, and this clip has moved to this position. But it makes up for the time by cutting away from the length of this clip and adding to the length of this clip. So as you can see, there's no space over here. Rather than I just hit Ctrl Z to undo that, rather than coming over here and probably deleting these frames, then moving this forward, you can just use the Slide tool, and what it will do is that it will help you to move that clip and make up for time by subtracting and adding from the clips next to it. Next, we have the Pen tool over here. I'm not going to be talking about the Pen tool in this video. We'll talk about the Pen tool when we are speaking about masking. Also, we have the Rectangle tool over here. If we select this, you'll notice we have the Rectangle tool, the Ellipse tool, and the Polygon tool. These are used to create shapes. For example, if I select the Rectangle tool and I come over to my preview screen over here, I can draw a rectangle, and automatically you can see that a graphic layer has been added to the timeline, and I can come over to my essential graphics here and probably change the color of my rectangle and begin to work with that shape if I need that shape. And if you want to draw a perfect square, all you need to do is to hold down Shift and drag, and you'll be able to draw a perfect square. So you can see that a square has been added. You can't see it because it's the same color too, To make it visible, you need to change the color of that square and make it white. So now you can see that we have a red and a white. You will notice that we have only one graphics layer here, even though we've created two shapes. The reason for that is that this graphics layer was selected. If I deselect this layer and I come over here and I draw a shape, you'll notice that a second graphics layer has been created over here. Next to the rectangle tool, we have the ellipse tool, which is used to draw an ellipse when working with shapes. To draw a perfect circle, hold down Shift and drag, and now you'll be able to draw your perfect circle. Next, we have the Polygon tool, which is this tool over here. So come over to the preview screen and drag, and you have created this triangle over here. You can always change the number of sides, but we're going to be talking about this in-depthly on another tutorial. I'm going to select this and delete them over here. Next, we have the zoom tool over here. With the zoom tool, you can zoom into specific points on your timeline. For example, if I want to zoom into this portion, all I need to do is to come over here and click, and it automatically zooms. And now I click again, it automatically zooms. And as you see, the more I click, the more it zooms in. If I want to zoom out, all I need to do is to hold down Alt or Option on Mac. You will notice that the sign has turned from a plus to a minus. And now if I click, it zooms out. If you click again, it's not zooming out. You need to move a little bit and click, and it's going to continue to zoom out. Another way to zoom in and zoom out is to use your slider over here. So if I slide like this, it zooms out, and if I slide in like this, it zooms in. We also have the side sliders over here, and you can also come over here and select this line and drag it up to really zoom in to see your track layer, or drag it down to zoom out. We also have the hand tool. The hand tool is important for moving around your timeline. For example, if I want to drag in to see a specific portion of my timeline, or let's say I want to see my preview monitor over here. Let's say I zoom in to 100% and some portions are missing. I don't have the side slide bar over here, so I can drag in and to see a specific portion. Maybe I want to see his face. Also, we have the text tool. I'm going to take this back to fit. With the type tool or the text tool, we can add text to our timeline. All we need to do is to come over to the preview monitor and click on it, and now we can type in any text that we want. So as you can see by default, this is pink. You can come over to Essential Graphics over here. If you don't see it, come over to Window over here and make sure that Essential Graphics is checked on, and you can now change the color of your field from whatever is showing to whatever you want. I want this to become white, so I'll come over here and select white. And if your text doesn't change, you need to highlight your text. So come over here and select it and hit Ctrl A to highlight your text, and come back here over here and change it to white and hit OK. And automatically you can see that my text has become white. Now if I select this type tool and hold it, you'll notice that we have the vertical type tool. This allows us to type vertical text rather than horizontally. So if I type in typewriter, you can see that my text is going vertically rather than horizontally. And that's it, guys, on the essential tools and shortcuts in Premiere Pro. Thank you for watching, and see you guys in my next video tomorrow.